Okay, so the volume of a pyramid has a formula of what it's going to say on your reference sheet. Looks like this. It's volume equals 1/3 your base times your height. Okay? Base times height divided by 3 is exactly the same thing. I think it's easier doing it like that than it is thinking about the 1/3. Okay? But just so you're familiar with, this means the same thing as that. So we have to have the height of the pyramid, which is where? It's from the top all the way down to the center of the base, right? It's not the slant height. It's the one that comes from the vertex set down to the center of the base. So we have to have that height, and then we have to know what the base is so that we can find the area of it. So we are going to start with this first pyramid, and we are going to find the volume of it. All right, so what shape is my base?
A square.
It's a square. Okay, so if we think about our base, it's a square. What's the length of each side?
6.
Okay, so how do I find the area of that?
36 times 6.
Yeah, 36. Length times width, base times height, side times side, whatever you want to call it in a square, right? Okay. Do I have the height of my pyramid?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. It's 8, right? It goes from the vertex down to the center of the base. So my height is 8. So what we do for volume is we multiply the base times the height, and we divide that by 3. If it cannot divide out evenly, I would recommend leaving it as a fraction, but if you want to get a decimal, you can. It's just when you have that 3 decimal, you're going to have a lot of repeating decimals, so it's easier to just leave it as a fraction. 36/8 divided by 3, does that work out to be a whole number?
Yes.
What is it?
96.
So the volume of this is going to be 96. So really no different than what we did yesterday, with the exception of it's base times height divided by 3 this time instead of just, what was yesterday?
So worksheet?
Not yet. What was yesterday's formula for prisms? And just base times height, okay, the area of the base times the height. Only difference here is when the shape comes to a point, we're going to divide it by 3 instead of just multiplying the area of the base times the height. Okay, try that one. It tells you that is an equilateral base, just FYI. All right, so for an equilateral base, you're going to use the shortcut for an equilateral formula, or equilateral triangle, which is side squared times the square root of 3 over 4. Okay? So that is to find the big B when you have an equilateral base. So let's start there. What is the length of one of my sides in my equilateral base? 6. So we're going to go 6 squared times the square root of 3 over 4, which is 36 squared roots of 3 over 4, which reduces to just be
9.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I not?
Good going.
Can I not do the area of the triangle?
No, because you don't know the height of that triangle. Like, if you think about your triangle, you have the triangle here, and you know the sides, you just don't know what that is. Now, you could figure it out, because this would be 3, and you could figure that out and then do it that way. It's just easier to use that shortcut formula. Less work. Okay. All right, and then what is the height of my pyramid? 4. So what we're going to do is, because I have a radical, Melvin Hush. The volume is going to be the area of my base, which is 9 square roots of 3, times my height of 4, divided by 3. Okay, I have a radical. I'm going to leave it in radical form. 9 times 4 is, and 36 square roots of 3 divided by 3 is,
I did not get that. I got 24.
what did you do?
I did 6 times 6 divided by 2.
Okay, 6 and 6 are not your base and your height of that triangle.
No,
Straighten it out for you.
Yes.
I'm allowed to be confused.
Make this one a little bigger. No tricks? There's no tricks. You're just gonna have to do some work here.
Wait, slant height 10?
Yes. Adam, that's not necessary.
Are we rounding?
Do you always remember your students?
I usually recognize faces before I remember names. Depends on how long ago I've had you two.
So how long you been with them?
17 years.
So somebody you see somebody from like 10 years ago.
I usually recognize their face. I have to have them remind me of their name, but
Like, hey, Miss Bridges. So you'll be like, oh, hey.
sometimes, yeah, I'm like, hey, how you doing? And I have no idea who they are. Okay. All right. First of all, what shape is my base? Square. So we can at least go ahead and find the area of that, right? What is each side? So the area is going to be 64. Okay. That part's easy. I need the height of the pyramid, right? Okay. The height of the pyramid is right here. It's not given to me, right? Okay. But I am given the slant height of 10. And what is the length of that piece that goes from the center to the edge? Where'd you get 4 from? It's half of 8. Okay. So what are we going to have to do to find that height? Set up your Pythagorean theorem. I want you to leave it in simplest radical form. Sebastian, that answers your question. Simplest radical form. That means no, I don't want you to round because I want radicals. Okay, we're trying to find the height because that was not given to us.
Wait, that box right there is like it's missing triangles.
This box right here,
Oh,
that's just my base. That's just my picture of my base. Which one is C, X4 or 10?
X2, 4, 2. It was 10, 2.
Is 84 a perfect square? No, don't want decimals. What's the perfect square that divides into 84? 4 times 21. What's the square root of 4? Okay, so I'm going to stop here for just a second. Does everybody understand where the 2 square roots of 21 came from? Got it? Okay. Now to finish for our volume, the volume is the area of the base times the height of the pyramid divided by 3. So we've got the area of the base is 64. The height of the pyramid is 2 square roots of 21, and then we're going to divide that by 3. What is that? 128 square roots of 21 over 3. Does 128 divide by 3? No. Then don't turn it into a decimal. Leave it just like that because you're dividing by 3. That's going to give you a repeating decimal. It's going to give you 0.3 repeating or 0.6 repeating. Okay, we don't want to do that. So just leave it as a fraction. Everybody okay with that one? Okay, so just be careful about what you have and what you need. Now we got a cone, which is essentially the same thing, except for with a cone, our base is always going to be a circle, and the formula for area of a circle is pi r squared. Yes. Okay, again, do not, if the 3 does not divide in evenly, do not give me a decimal. Leave it in exact form. That's going to have pi in it. Leave it as a fraction if it does not divide evenly. Go ahead and do this one. You can find the area of your base and then multiply. Oh, do we have the height of your pyramid or your cone? So you're going to have to find the height of your cone first of the base, which is a circle.
That's gonna be.
What is my radius?
Radius is 5.
Okay, so the area of the base is going to be 25 pi, right?
Yeah.
Give me a minute. Let me look at it. I can't remember. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Okay. I've got. You guys know it's rude to talk when other people are talking, right? Just saying. I'm highlighting the triangle that I'm focusing on. What is this going to be down here? 5. Okay. So we're going to do our Pythagorean theorem again, unless we recognize that this is a triple.
Is every even number is every clean number a triple?
What's the clean number?
What are you talking about?
You get x squared equals 144, so the square root of that is 12. Just like 3, 4, 5, 5, 12, 13 is also a triple or any multiples of that. All right, so we've got our base, 25 pi, times our height, which we found to be 12, and we are going to divide that by 3. What's that give me? 100 pi. 25 times 12, think about 12 quarters.
That's like $3.
Which would be 300, right? Okay, and then 300 divided by 3 would be 100.
I did say that.
Yeah, 12 quarters is $3. That's 300, right? Just mental math, nothing. You can use a calculator. Never mind. Try that one.
What is that?
It's an oblique cone.
Nobly.
Pretty oblique.
What's your favorite shape?
The formula is still the same. The area of the base times the height of the cone. It's just oblique, so your height's going to be in a different location. Height is always perpendicular to the base. Find the area of the base first. Multiply that by the height of the cone. And then divide by 3.
Nothing goes into this.
What is the radius of my base?
3.
3. So we're going to go pi times 3 squared, which gives me a base area of 9 pi. Okay. So volume equals that base area, 9 pi, times what's the height of my cone? 7. Okay. It's just the height's outside of it now because it has to be perpendicular to where the base is. And then we're going to divide that by 3. 9 times 7 is 63 pi divided by 3, which ends up giving me a total volume of 'Anybody have any questions on that one? These aren't hard, right? The formula is consistent. Base times height, area of the base times the height divided by 3. I'm just looking to see what else I had.